Hey, I'm Abby and welcome back to the Life Work Balance YouTube channel. Today I want to talk to you about a resume tip that applies to you if you have been applying to jobs online. Before I jump into that, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're looking forward to learning this one specific tip to help increase your chances of getting through to the next stage of the interview process if you're applying to jobs online. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so that you can receive life work balance advice delivered directly to you every Sunday. If you're applying to jobs online, chances are the companies that you're applying to are using an ATS, or an applicant tracking system. This is essentially a computer that reviews your application before a human does. One of the most common issues when it comes to applying to jobs online to companies that are using applicant tracking systems is the format of your resume. You could be using a resume format or a layout that is not compatible with the applicant tracking system. For example, the most common issue that I see is applicants using 2 columns in their resume or more of a graphical layout. 2-column graphical resumes have become more popular because they are pleasing to the eye. However, they're too complex for applicant tracking systems. So using a 2-column resume or more of a graphical resume, while it looks great, it will often lead to lower success rates when you're applying to jobs online. So why is this the case? Well, most companies, like I mentioned earlier, are using applicant tracking systems. It's that computer that reviews your resume or your application before it generates a score and then sends it to a human to review. If your score is too low because the applicant tracking system has misread your resume or your application as a whole, your application isn't going to be seen by a person. So most companies use an applicant tracking system. Applicant tracking systems read your resume like a book, left to right and top to bottom. So you can imagine the kind of confusion that happens when you split your resume into 2 or more columns. The data gets misread or it's not read at all. So this doesn't mean that you should have a really difficult to read resume. Your resume still should be easy to read and pleasing to the eye, but avoid using more than 1 column of text. Eventually, your resume will be reviewed by a human. So make sure that the resume that you're uploading online is clean, easy to read, easy to understand, and in that 1 column. Now I have a couple of resources that are available for you for free from my website if you're interested. The first is a master resume template. This is a template that I recommend you use to create your master resume, which will then eventually become your tailored resume. But you can use this template now to create that tailored resume for a position that you're applying to online. It is in a single column format. The formatting is very plain and simple, yet it is still pleasing to the eye and easy to read. The other resource that I have available is my free resume ebook on how to beat the 6 seconds. So this is strategies on how you can create a very easy to read, pleasing to the eye resume for the person who will be reviewing it after the applicant tracking system reviews it. Like I mentioned, both of those are available for download for free through my website. I've linked to them in the description box below. So one thing to note is that this whole concept of having a single page resume may change slightly as the ATS or applicant tracking system technology evolves. However, it's still not advanced enough to be able to understand that there might be more than 1 column and how to read that information. And even as ATS technology continues to improve, I still highly recommend that you give yourself the best chance of getting through that applicant tracking system phase by using a single column, easy to read, non-complicated formatted resume. If you do have a fancy resume that is more graphical or has multiple columns, you don't have to get rid of it completely. That is something that you can use when you're in person for live networking events, or if you bring it to an interview that's in person. Use it for referrals. If someone emails you, you can email your resume to someone rather than using it to apply online directly. So you don't have to get rid of it completely. Just know that you're likely going to have 2 different versions of your resume, so you'll want to make sure the information on both of those versions is identical. You don't want your graphical, maybe prettier version of your resume to have different information than the resume that you would be uploading to an online application. So, like I mentioned, I have those 2 free resources available for you to download for free from my website. the master resume template, as well as my ebook on how to beat the 6 seconds. I also offer individualized and personalized sessions that will allow you and I to go over your materials. So these are application materials review sessions. I've linked to my website in the description box below, so you can schedule that directly. Or if you want to reach out to me, I've also included my email in the description box below and we can get something set up. So this is where we can go over your application materials for a specific job posting that you want to apply to, and I can help you align those materials to the position that you're applying to. I also offer interview strategy sessions and mock interview sessions. Most of the clients I work with choose to go with interview strategy sessions because it's more of a conversation where we talk about very common interview questions you can expect, interview questions you can expect based off of the position you're applying to, etc. However, a mock interview is also helpful. So if you're at the interview stage and you're looking for someone to help you prepare for that interview, let me know. Again, I've linked to my email in the description box below, and I've also got a link to my website where you can schedule that session directly. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you've been applying to jobs online and you have been using a 2 or more column formatted resume or a graphical resume, you don't want to do that. Stick to the single column, easily formatted resume that is not too fancy but is still pleasing to the eye, and it will likely increase your chances of hearing back from hiring managers and recruiters. If you did find this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you have any additional questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas, throw them in the comments box below. Not only do I love receiving comments, but your comments, your questions, your experiences will help other people who are going through something similar. So again, if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas, throw them in the comments box below. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell so you can continue to receive life-work balance advice delivered directly to you every Sunday. Thanks, and I'll see you next week.